This is the Getting Into Alignment podcast. Here we play in the quantum world of possibilities. If you desire it, you get to have it. My name is Alexa Ray Smith. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher for women in business. I'm here to help you unlock your personal power and tap into your magnetism so that you can manifest the most incredible life for yourself and build the business of your dreams. These episodes will help you plug into the energy of infinite potentiality and teach you the tools you need to play in this world where limitations don't exist. On this podcast, I'll be talking to you about energetics, mindset, embodiment, spirituality, money, and business. Everything that you want is on the other side of you getting into alignment. Welcome back to the Getting Into Alignment podcast. I'm your host, Alexa Ray Smith. I took a little bit of a break from the podcast. Obviously, it's been about a month now. And honestly, it was just because the way that I had been doing business, while it aligned with industry, quote unquote, standards for the coaching industry, I was energetically exhausted. I just did a post on Instagram where I talked about 3 things I have been implementing in the past, or things that I've been implementing in the past 3 months that have really helped me gain this deep sense of inner peace, both in my life and back in my business. And so with that, a lot of things have changed since I've been on here. One of which is the most exciting thing, that if you follow me on TikTok, if you follow me on Instagram, you are fully aware of this, but I need to announce it to you as the podcast listeners as well. But one thing I've done is I am no longer going to align with the business model of teaching and releasing and selling multiple offers a month. It is energetically exhausting. And I think it's almost hilarious that a lot of people are realizing this now. And they're like, we aren't manifesting generators in human design. We can't be using this manifesting generator model. And I want to say, yes, you shouldn't be using that model. And 2, I am a manifesting generator. And even as a manifesting generator, it literally took all of my life force energy. So yet again, I want to be another permission slip for you to reevaluate your business, to reevaluate how you've been doing things, even in life, right? Is the way that you're showing up and the way that you're doing things sustainable? Is it conducive to the lifestyle that you want to create? Is it adding energy to you, or is it depleting energy from you? And I want you to really sit with that and ask yourself. And if it is draining you, if it is something that seems like it's taking more energy than it's giving back to you, then I want you to really take some time to reflect and say, then why am I doing it this way? And I want you to really look at your business and say, if this isn't sustainable, if this isn't energizing to me, then this is me building another 9 to 5, which is exactly what I was trying to escape. And so that is where my head has really been over the past few months. And on that, so there's a few announcements that I'm going to make. I have a free masterclass that is dropping next week, and that masterclass is called Mission. It is for the heart-centered, soul-infused, impact-driven entrepreneurs that know that they are here to change the world. I want to have a conversation with you that really is honest and really vulnerable and talks about how I have been seeing the industry change, what I've been seeing happening, how I've been seeing us come back home as heart-centered leaders, and really my personal experience and how I have shifted a lot in my business model as of lately and going forward. This will be a change that will be likely a permanent change. And I don't honestly ever see myself going back to the old way. And what I know to be true from my personal experience is that when you're not leading your business with the mission being the main reason for you doing this, yes, I get that we want freedom. Yes, I get that we want to make money so that we can have financial freedom. Yes, I get all of the external things that come with being a spiritual entrepreneur and being a conscious CEO. I want you to realize that when we don't prioritize mission, when we don't prioritize being heart centered, soul led, that is when business starts to feel really draining, really stressful. It starts to feel like a lot of pressure, and it feels like almost anything you do is never good enough because we are in this energy of trying to keep up. And I've found that this isn't just me who has experienced this, but a lot of women that I coach, a lot of other mentors that I've worked with in the past, I'm seeing them come home to this. And I'm seeing a lot of talk in the collective, in the coaching industry, where I can just see that we can't keep lying to ourselves and pretending that we're really happy and fulfilled and sustainable. Because here's the thing, you guys, I don't care what income level you are at. I coach people at all different income levels. I get mentored by people at income levels that are way higher than what I'm at. I'm surrounded by self made multimillionaires all of the time. And what I want you to know is the questions that come up and the doubts that come up and the quote unquote problems that happen in business, they are basically the same no matter what level you're at. The conversation just isn't focused around money as much when you have the money, because it's not like, how do I make a 10K month? How can I keep my income? There's different conversations about money, but the fears, the doubts, the worries, they're all the same at the same level. And what I've found is there's a lot of women that are really great at marketing themselves in business. But just because they're amazing marketers and they make millions of dollars marketing, it doesn't mean that their products or services are so ingenious that you don't have the same capabilities in you. I find that it's really easy for us to keep putting people on pedestals because of how much money they make. And I think that's another dangerous unintended consequence of showcasing your month to date revenue wins. And I truly am no longer following anyone that does that. Anyone who is constantly talking about how much money they're making, I do not believe that it is expansive. I believe that it is a trap that we are falling victim to. And it's leaving a lot of us feeling unfulfilled in our business. And that's why your mission needs to come before the money that you're making or that you desire to make, because when you lead with mission, the money will always follow. But when you lead for money, you lose the mission. And that's what we're really going to be going deep into within mission. And I truly believe that if you are someone who has been feeling really stagnant in your business, if you've been feeling really stressed out, if you have been on the verge of quitting because you haven't made as much money as you thought you would make in your business, or if you're not getting as many clients or as many students or whatever it is, I want you to know that you started this business because you, in your soul and heart of hearts, know that you are here to help the collective consciousness shift higher. In whatever capacity, in whatever gifts you have, you knew when you started this business that you were here for a magical life and one that was going to change the world. And I want you to just come back home to yourself. So that way, business gets to be an extension of your soul's work. It gets to feel like a masterpiece that you are creating. And I really want you to honestly look at everyone that you're following and subscribing to and ask yourself, like, drop the whole popular high school mentality where you have to follow all of the popular coaches. No one cares. No one is looking at who you're following. I want you to genuinely tap in with yourself and say, is reading this content, is following this person making me feel inspired? Is it giving me validation and permission to do business in my own way? Is it liberating, or does it feel like it's selling me a quote unquote business model that really doesn't vibe with my happiness or with my personal fulfillment? And we're going to be going deep on that in mission. So I'm not going to go too much further into that right now, but if you do want to join, then you can go to my Instagram and you can click on my stories. Now, I honestly cannot remember if I told you guys on the podcast if that I was leaving Instagram, because I did announce that a few months ago, and I am back. What I ended up doing was unfollowing literally everyone, and I stopped using Instagram. I posted every once in a while, but I stopped consuming completely. I was not watching stories. I was not reading other people's content. I was off of Instagram. And what I want you to know is, because I left Instagram, I fell back in love with Instagram. And I just love sharing on my stories. I love taking you guys with me. And one of the things that was always so inspiring and still is inspiring to me is seeing how people really create their days and seeing what people do with their time, and how spiritual entrepreneurs, how they live their life and what they're doing. I just feel like there's something so inspiring about that, especially if you're still someone who's living and working in a 9 to 5, because you're not seeing all of the potentiality that's available for you. And I do understand how it really does help people to witness and be expanded by what you're doing. So if you unfollowed me because I said I was leaving, I'm back. So if you want to go give your girl a follow again, I am there. And I've been posting a lot on my stories, and I've been posting, but there's been no pressure about it. It's genuinely like I have something to say. And here's the thing is, I create so much content on TikTok. TikTok is my fucking jam. I love TikTok. That's where you can find me and my 15,000 followers. We are hanging out there. So it's really easy for me to just create content on TikTok and then shift it over to Instagram, which is what I did for the time when I was off of Instagram. I was just repurposing my videos, and that felt really great. And now recently I've gotten back into writing posts. But again, there's no, oh my God, I need to write a post today. It's, oh my God, the world needs to hear this. It's really been a process of me making sure that I am really going deeply within myself. I have been in hermit mode for the past 3 months. I've barely hung out with anyone. I have barely been texting anyone. I went weeks without seeing another human or really talking to another human, besides talking to clients, students, or people on TikTok, honestly. Like, I replied to your comments on TikTok, but that was it. And it felt so good. Even to the point where instead of being off of my phone for the first hour of every day and every night, I bumped that to 2 hours. And oh my God, I just like, if that isn't medicine for the soul, I find that we are so stressed out and we're so anxious and we're so depleted because we are constantly on our phones. And if we're not on our phones, then we're binging Netflix. And it's like, when do we ever not have an electronic device? When are we tuning into the sacred technology that is our human body, mind, and soul? that is where you're going to find inner peace. That is where you're going to generate everything. And one thing I know to be true is that the more time you spend watching things, like watching videos, watching content, watching stories, watching whatever, even if that means reading, the more you're gonna be pulled away from your purpose and the more lost you're gonna feel because you're in consumption mode constantly. And America specifically has created an entire nation full of consumers. And consumerism leads to a hollow life, and it leads to really making a bigger void in yourself, and then we're constantly trying to do more so that way we can cover this void instead of doing less, so that way we can look at the void and start filling the void by soul sourcing the feelings that we desire to feel inside of us. And here is the thing that I truly see is the most common mistake that people make in manifestation, is that they believe that when they get something, they are going to feel some way that they were incapable of feeling before they had that thing. And I get that we are programmed to think that in the matrix. But I want you to know that when you start going through the journey of learning how to manifest, that is a paradigm that you have to completely disassemble, delete, and remove from your entire belief system. If any part of you truly believes that you need to have something to feel some way, you are not understanding the very foundation and the purpose of manifestation. Manifestation is not for you to get things so you can feel something. Manifestation is so that you can learn how to love yourself, how to feel comfortable with yourself, how to be able to cultivate and generate any feeling that you desire within yourself, because you are removing any programming, any belief, any story, any clogged energy, anything that is keeping you out of disharmony with being in alignment with yourself, mind, body, and soul. If you constantly seek for things, one, you're not in leading energy, which is what you need to be to manifest. Two, you are going to feel tired, restless, and like nothing is ever good enough. Because what's going to happen is if you haphazardly manifest the thing that you think is going to make you feel away, that thing is just going to represent a mirror that's showing you back how much you do not feel the thing. And you are going to feel 10 times worse because you are going to think that you will have felt some sort of way that was different than how you felt before when you get it. And quite honestly, you're going to feel worse. When I did that, when it was in my business and I was gaining more students and more followers and more money, when I got to these big things that I put on a pedestal, I realized that I didn't feel any different. And anyone I know that has been successful in their business can tell you the exact same thing. It's always an internal game first. It's never an external game. And the thing is it's literally backed in science that you're creating your own world mentally first. It's backed by quantum physics and it's backed by neuroscience. So we can't keep fighting this just because the Matrix taught you otherwise. If what the Matrix was teaching you kept you happy, fulfilled, satisfied, made you feel successful and loved and all of the things that you're desiring, wealthy, whatever it is, then you would feel that way already. But the Matrix completely disempowers you and takes your power completely away by telling you that you don't have the ability to generate these feelings within yourself. And I'm here to tell you that's fucking bullshit. It is the biggest lie you have ever been fed on a silver spoon. And if any part of you believes this lie, you are going to struggle to manifest everything that you desire, because you're going to have one foot in the matrix and one foot trying to get out of it. And because you still have one foot in, you're constantly going to be getting sucked back in because your brain was programmed by the matrix. And so while I have been really going deep into, and this is going to be one of those podcast episodes where I'm not just going to give you an update in the beginning of what's going on in my world and then like get into the teachings of the episode. This is going to be teachings with life updates and all of the things. And I also understand that this is not the same format that I was doing the 30 Days of Manifestation podcast episodes in. And honestly, I was exhausted. Trying to do 30 manifestation podcasts was just a lot because I already create so much content on this. So while I speak about manifestation in every episode, I honestly don't know that I'm going to continue the 30 days. I think that this is episode 13 right now. And so technically I am going to be talking about manifestation, but not in the 30 days of doing it. I have too much to tell you and too much to say that isn't always just manifestation. So I'm going to give myself that out and not put pressure on myself to do something that felt really good at first and then felt really draining afterwards. Again, I model what it's like to build a sustainable business, and I model what it's like to have an intuitive business where I honestly check in with my mindset and my energy, and I allow that to lead instead of sticking to something because I said I was going to do it and it actually doesn't light me up anymore. That doesn't help anyone. So one of the things that has drastically changed on here, which is the first announcement I was going to make, and then I was talking about Mission, the free masterclass. But I want to tell you that what I've decided to do, since I said that I was stepping away from creating multiple programs and multiple offers and selling them all and just like stuck in that broken paradigm is what I want to call it for the coaching industry. What I have done is I actually closed every program that I had for a while. I closed them all. And I decided to, instead of just having it be a manifestation membership and then having also a membership where you could get into my entire body of work, I realized that my entire body of work really does fall into two categories if we get super foundational with it, and that's either manifestation or business. At the end of the day, that's really what they can be boiled down to. So what I did was every single program that I have created is now an academy. So AOM Academy, or you'll also hear me refer to it as AOMU, are is now the main place for you to get into my world. What I've done is all of my energetic programs, all of my manifestation programs, all of my healing programs, all of my mindset programs, all of my human design programs, my confidence program, my self-concept programs, it's all in one place. And what I've done is I am now allowing you to get into the academy, and you have access to, want to say there's 13 different classes within the academy, and also the money programs in there as well. And then there is also 9 manifestation Q&As, which range, they're all basically 2 hours long. One of them, the editor lost like halfway through, so it's only 47 minutes long, which is fine. That one was potent as fuck. And I kept saying, I cannot believe I'm giving you this information for free. So I think we just short circuited the video, but that's fine. Everything's fine. But so now in the academy, you get access to 30 hours of different content that is helping you to truly learn how to manifest. And there are 20 different integration practices. And what I'm going to be doing is the doors to the academy are open for a little less than a month now as I'm recording this episode, and I will release this episode today. So it's June 11th, and the academy is closing on July 5th. So what that means is this is not just going to be a self-paced program or a self-paced academy. While yes, every course and the curriculum is self-paced, I am going to be working with my students in the academy so that way I can make sure that they're really doing the work, integrating it and embodying it so that way transformations are occurring internally, because you have to become the person who manifests all of their desires. You become the person and then you manifest. And if you're not doing the work, you won't become the person. If you're not consistent with the work, you won't become the person. If you pop in and out of the work, you won't become the person. To even rewire your mind, you have to be doing it every single day for at least 21 days. And I truly mean it. It's you have to be consistent, specifically at the beginning, because then you're going to change who you are and you won't have to put as much effort into the consistency. So, if you want to join the academy, I highly, highly encourage you to, because this is going to be a space where if you dedicate yourself to this work for 6 months or to a year, you will be living in a completely different reality when you are done with this. I know from experience, because this is everything that I learned and integrated and embodied myself, so that way I can be the woman that I am today. And of course, I'm constantly working on myself. So the academy will grow and it will expand. And I'm so, so, so excited about it. At this point, I can honestly tell you that I am not sure when I will be opening up the academy again, because I do want my students to be able to really go deep in this. So it will be at least 6 months, if not a year, where this academy opens up again. So if you're someone that's like, oh, well, I'll just join the academy when I feel like it, or when I'm more ready, or when I have the money, or whatever excuse you're giving yourself, I want you to know that the longer you allow yourself to play in excuses and not take action, the more you are not leading your life, the less time you're actually investing in changing. Because the only moment that you can change is right now. The only moment that you can take action is right now. If you are constantly waiting for a future moment to feel ready, joke's on you, because you'll never feel ready. And honestly, the longer that you wait, the less ready that you're going to feel. There is no right moment. There is no right time. It is, when is your intuition calling you to change? When is your soul deeply craving a new life experience? When are you just fed the fuck up of your bullshit? Like, it has to be a decision that you make. That's how you change your life. That's how you manifest, by deciding you're no longer available for your old circumstances, for your old mindset, for your old energy, for your old ways of being. You have to be the one that says, I'm done. And then allow yourself to lead yourself through it and trust that the universe is there to support you and guide you in the moments that you feel as though you're not sure where to go. I want you to start realizing that you got to just start taking the step, like one step at a time, because the more we wait till the right moment, it's like we're building this mountain, and because we're waiting, we're not taking any steps towards the mountain. So the mountain is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then our journey is feeling more exhausting. And then we come up with more reasons not to do it. But when you just decide that you're changing, regardless of whether you know how, because you don't need to know the how, you will start being in the present moment and making the moves that are aligned with your soul at that moment. And you're not going to be staring at this huge mountain that's getting bigger. You're going to be taking steps, and you're going to be falling in love with the beauty of yourself and of the journey while you're doing it, because you are moving towards it. And movement is required. I'm not saying that you have to make these huge leaps or that you have to make these big, massive moves, but you do have to move. You do need to be taking steps in the right direction every single day, because you've heard me say this a million times, but it is truly the micro steps that lead to the macro transformations. And in manifestation, it is the micro manifestations that lead to the macro quantum leaps. So, if you are truly ready to learn everything that you need to know about manifestation, then I highly invite you I highly encourage you to jump into the academy. If you do join this weekend, I understand that as I'm announcing this, I'm not giving you that much time left in this weekend, but I do just want to put it out there. If you do join the academy this weekend, you will get a 60-minute private session with me where we can go deep on anything that you're feeling called, whether it's just a mentorship, whether it's manifestation, whatever is really on your mind to work through, that is what we will go through. And then if you join the academy, you will be getting calls with me. So these will be group calls where we will be, where they're, it's going to really depend on where the students are at, but it can be anywhere from a group Q&A call, so there's a lot of mentorship involved, to breathwork sessions, to meditations, to anything. At this point, I'm really allowing myself to be fluid with what's going to come up on the calls, but you will have access to me. There is a Q&A thread within the group for the academy, and you can drop any questions that you have in there and the questions will get answered. So this isn't like you're taking another group program and you are kind of left on your own and in the dark to work through things when you notice that blind spots are coming up or limiting beliefs or whatever it is that's coming up for you. I really want you to not only know that you are supported, but actually know that you have support. You have a mentor in your corner who's been through everything that you're going through, who understands it, who knows what it's like to be on the other side, and can give you guidance and shine a light and encourage you on how to get there. So I'm really, really, really excited to have a more hands-on experience with my students. I'm really excited for the group community and being able to go deep on all of these things. And I just feel so good. And what I want you guys to realize is I think the coaching industry has, even I know, because how many times have I read or watched a program, read a piece of content or watched a program where they've told you not to include everything in one program, because the idea is you learn one thing in the program and then the next thing that you want to learn that they know is going to be the next thing that you need to know, they're going to sell you into another program. And honestly, that's why so many people are feeling really jaded by the coaching industry, because they've constantly been investing money and they have little return to show for their investments, because they learn one thing and then it's not enough for them to really take action on it, because it's one piece of the puzzle. And in order for them to learn the next piece, they have to invest more money. And that isn't conscious leadership. And in all honesty, your students are going to be so better prepared for what you're teaching them and how to actually implement it in their lives when you are giving them a container and a space that has everything that they need. Now, I did say that there are two facets to my work, and one is business. So my business programs are not included in this, except currency, which is my money program. I just know that has to be in there, because the two biggest questions I get on manifestation are love and money. So money is something that it's a process, and it's a huge shift that you have to make, and it's not something that happens overnight. It's honestly just not, because society has programmed you to have a poverty mindset. It's going to take a lot for you to be able to manifest money in your life, and I understand that. So the money program, which could be considered a business program, is in there. And I Don't Give a Fuck, which is my confidence program. It's really more of how to be a confident CEO. And there's a lot of videos in there which talk about being confident in selling, but it's also teaching you a lot about confidence. And I'm going to leave that one in there because I get a lot of questions about confidence, and that program is literally so good. And I find that a lot of people, once they start manifestation, they want to create their own businesses. So I think that that's a beautiful class to have in there, because it's going to teach you how to start feeling confident in yourself, how to start feeling confident in your services, how to start feeling confident in creating programs and selling. Like, it's the foundational stages when you are not yet fully an entrepreneur. Like, you could fully be, but I feel like these are the first steps you take when you start going into business. And if you haven't really locked these in, then I found that you're going to struggle in your business. So I'm going to leave that one in there because it's like opening up the door for you to start learning how to think and be when it comes to being a business owner as well. And then the rest of my business teachings, I will be announcing to you in Mission. So if you get into the Mission Masterclass, you will be the first to know about what is transpiring in my world for business. And uh, I'm just so excited to bring this to you because I'm just going to let you know it's another academy. So what I have done with my manifestation academy will be similar to what you can expect in the business academy, except it's going to have a higher focus on conscious leadership. And that's where I'm going to leave it for right now. So hop into the masterclass if you want to be the first to know about this. Another announcement that I want to make, because it is only good for the month of June, is I have opened up a 1 week pass or a 2 week pass for mentorship. And what it looks like, it's kind of insane. I'm basically allowing you to get mentored by me for 5 or 10 days in Boxer. If it's the 1 week, you're basically paying what you would pay for 1 hour of a mentorship session with me for 5 days. And it is honestly, truly insane. I'm really excited. I want to allow mentorship to be more accessible. I want mentorship to go back to the mission, and the mission is helping people realize their true power, realize their internal riches, realize how capable they are, and truly understand that they have the power to change anything in their life. They just have to focus on changing themselves. So if you've been wanting to work with me and if price was a deterrent, then this is for you. This is so accessible that I really just feel so good about this. If you have been wanting to get mentored by me in a container, then I do just want to let you know that I have decreased my prices because I'm really coming back to my mission again. And I want more people to be able to really feel what it's like to be in the leading energy of their life and to no longer let their circumstances dictate their reality. Like, you get to have it all. You truly do. And I understand that it is very difficult to do this work of transforming your life without having support from someone. And I don't want the amount of money that mentorship is to have someone say, oh, well, I guess this isn't for me because I can't afford that. One, I don't want you to ever say the term I can't afford it, but I just know that there's a lot of people who are desiring mentorship that don't have it because of the unethical pricing that you see in the coaching world. And if you are interested in that conversation, you're going to want to get into Mission because I am going to be telling you about a class that's going to be in the academy that's going to be focusing on this, which is the biggest thing that is needed within the digital coaching space. Because let's be honest, I am one of the only business coaches I know that has gone to business school. I actually don't know any other business coach. I've never followed any other business coach that has ever gone to business school. So it's obviously needed because it's taught in business. And no one taught it to these women that are charging insane amounts of money to work with them. And I'm all for women making great money. But we also have to understand that we are bridging a new paradigm for business, and it needs to be ethical. So, I'm not going to say too much more on that. But if you have been wanting to work with me in any capacity, I would encourage you to check out my website, alexaraysmith.com/links. Everything will be linked in there for you. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram or on TikTok, whatever is more comfortable for you. There is a way that you can send me messages through my website too, which some people do, whatever way you're feeling called. But I want you to know that if you have any questions about anything, you can always DM me. Of course, my DMs are not a place to ask me for free coaching or mentorship. So don't be one of those people that DMs me asking me, a manifestation or mentorship question, because you will not get an answer in there. Oh, see, this is what happens if I leave the podcast for a little, almost a month. I have so many announcements that I forget what I'm what I have to announce. So another thing that's super exciting is that I have decided that my manifestation manifesto masterclass, which is a manifesting masterclass, it basically takes what I learned in 5 years of learning manifestation and it consolidates it into a really potent class where it just combines all of the things together. And in that, you get access to my manifesto, which is a PDF download that walks you through manifesting as if you are placing an order with with the universe. It is so good and it's such a fun way to manifest. So if you want to get into that free masterclass, you can go to the link in my bio on Instagram, on here, or on TikTok. It is the same link though, alexaraysmith.com/links. And that will get you into the class. You'll have access to all 5 videos and the manifesto upon getting into it. So I'm really excited to offer that to you guys. If you guys do jump into it, then be sure to DM me and let me know anything that transpires from it, any breakthroughs that you have, any manifestations that come in, how much fun you're having with the manifesto. I genuinely love hearing from you guys, and I love connecting with all of you. Like, that's why I did this. I'm a 4/6 in human design. Like, I am a people person. Yes, I do go into hermit mode, but that's because of the 6th line. I'm a role model. I have to take space to be able to witness what's happening, which is why I study the industry, which is why I study people and all the things. But I love connecting with you guys. I love connecting with people who are like-minded and having conversations with you. I've been waking up every single day getting messages from people whom I've never even spoken to that have been telling me how grateful they are for my content because it's been changing their lives. And it just like literally makes me so happy. That little emoji with like the watering eyes, where it's just like happy tears welling up. That's what I feel like every time I get one of those messages. So I want you to know that you can always DM me. Like, my DMs are always open if you have anything that you'd like to share with me. I freaking love it. So I just wanted to put that out there, that my DMs are always open for those types of things. Oh my gosh. So I had no idea how long I had been recording for, because the last thing I was doing on the software that I used to record my podcast was recording music. So it was still in beats and bars, and I did not realize how long I've been talking for. So this has been a lengthy podcast, and I'm gonna cut it here. But if you have any questions about anything that I dropped in, then feel free to DM me. If you are someone who listens to podcasts and you prefer to use Spotify, well, I will probably never be on Spotify because I don't have an RSS feed. I am uploading these podcast episodes to YouTube. So if you know anybody that you've been wanting to share the podcast with, but you know that they listen via Spotify, then you can absolutely share these podcast episodes or let your friends know that I am uploading them to YouTube. And I love you guys so much. If you're not following me on if you're not following me on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, I highly encourage you to, because I post content every single day on all three of those channels. And until the next episode, we'll talk soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to go deeper and to get into my world, you can go to my website, alexaraysmith.com. You'll find all of my current programs on there. If you're desiring to get mentored by me, then the best thing to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we can talk about mentorship options and which one's the best fit for you. If you're absolutely loving this podcast, please go rate it 5 stars and let me know why you're loving it. This will help me share the podcast with more people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and until the next episode, keep manifesting the most incredible life.